my feel-good breakfast show.
Tech Talk Thursdays, that's what it is, and your feel-good breakfast show here on Expresso, and it's the school holidays. And what do kids love doing the most? Playing video games. Sometimes as parents, we struggle to manage or understand what's happening. Luckily, we have our tech expert, John Hines, to give us the latest in game talk. So, tips for parents in school holidays, a big one.
I get this question all the time.
Huge one.
Parents stop me and they go like, yo, I don't understand these games, but my child plays these games all the time. Like what must I do? It's not a bad thing, actually. So, but it's something that you do need to monitor and understand. I think one of the biggest problems in that conversation for me is parents don't understand video games and they don't bother learning. And here's your time, crib notes.
Yes.
Kids on holiday, you're in school now.
There we go. Let's get into school because it's quite important, and I think that to try and sort of also manage the time around gaming, which is very, very important because you want to make sure there's an exchange between social behaviors versus, even though gaming is very social, I think there was a big debate that I had on gaming and curbing gaming versus knowing that your kid is chatting to a group of friends and working together and
I think a lot of kids in lockdown who had video games were still able to spend time with their friends, which is really special. So the first thing I'd recommend doing, and something my parents did for me, which I thought was, what in hindsight I think is really cool, is that you reward children by doing their chores with game time. So a game experience becomes a rewarding experience, and then it becomes a currency so that you can go to your kids and say, hey, listen, if you do the dishes and you do these things, you do what you're responsible for, you can have fun. And I think that's one of that's a great way to manage game time, because they can know that they can earn it. They'll be like, Mom, I can play now, because it also gives them leverage. I can play now because I've done XXXX. Or they'll wake up in the morning and you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh, all the dishes are done. What's happening? I like the reversal on that, because you're not punishing, you are rewarding. You're gamifying the chores. Oh, stop it. That's how you think about it. Now, in terms of the cost in your gaming, you know, you want to enable your kids as much as possible, but you know, there are some hacks around getting games or sort of understanding how to get a bunch of games for a lower price. Yes, okay, cool. So a lot of kids are going to ask for, oh, this game costs like 1,000 Rand or whatever, and it's a lot of money. And if parents don't know the tools, they're going to be unfortunate. Look at getting free-to-play games, like there are games like Fortnite, and they've got battle passes, so you pay for something in the game, but it's an experience. It's like a ticket for a month to earn things while you play. So think of that. That's a lot cheaper. It's about 200 Rand. And then there's also Games Pass. So Games Pass is on Xbox, I think. I think PlayStation's got a version of it as well. And it's like a monthly sub like Netflix or whatever you do, whatever streaming service you get, but for games. So you can have access to a library of games for the duration of that month. So what that empowers you to do as a parent is it's the month of holidays. Let's get Game Pass for the holiday, and once the holiday's up, we're going to cancel Game Pass. So during school time, the kids might not have access to that library, but as soon as holidays kick in, you can activate that library, and it's super cheap compared to buying a brand new game. Manageable, which is quite important. And now, parents who are kind of technophobes, but like, you know, you want to have some time with your kids. Getting stuck in and actually playing the game with the kids and having that moment happen when you're allowed to be in their realm. I think that's powerful. Yeah, I think one of the things that I tell parents all the time is play games with your kids. Always play games with kids. There's a couple of reasons why, and we've touched on this on the show before, but it's bonding time with with them. You're making memories. They're going to grow up and be like, oh, do you remember when you played? My mom used to play Super Mario with us. Oh, man. We used to swap. And like my mom still talks about it to this day. And it's something that, you know, it's a culture in my life, and it became something special for my mom. And video games weren't my mom's thing. So her doing that became something special, you know, for us. And the other reason is that because games are social, you'll be creating a culture of how to engage and talk to people online. So you will be in that friendship circle for a little bit, being able to go like, hey, don't talk like that, or who's this person, and who are you playing with, and understand what they're doing virtually, just so that you have an idea. And it's fun. Games are designed to be fun. This is the other thing. Parents are like, I don't want to play games. Like, games are literally designed to be fun. You're going to have fun. Like, don't worry. And what's more fun than spending time with your kids, watching them do something that they're passionate about? And I mean, especially if you want some self-motivation, there's nothing better than proper
getting into Fortnite and just destroying your kids. Like it's the best feeling
Becomes
in the world.
competitive, yeah. The other thing, if you can't play with your kids,
Yes.
the next step for me is make sure that they're playing games in a public area in the house.
I love that.
So don't lock them in a room and let them, and I know it gives you some free time as a parent, but if you're watching them play, you can hear them talk, you can hear the tone of voice they're using, you can hear what culture they're creating or they're exposed to, and you can watch it and manage it, which is super important.
And then parental settings on a console, that's pretty straightforward,
and
right?
and the last step is parental settings on a console. So you can make sure that they don't play games that are outside of the age restriction.
Yeah.
They've got their own account to do that, and that works with those games passes as well.
Yeah.
So that you can monitor their experience without playing those single-player games without knowing that they're playing games that you wouldn't necessarily approve of or are outside of their age gap.
Love it. Grant, thank you so much for empowering us with regard to this last stretch of school holidays. I hope that assisted. Just make sure that you engage, collaborate, and it's not really watching over and getting too strict, but it's really enabling them to communicate and develop social skills while enjoying something as enjoyable as gaming. So all the best in those spaces, and don't worry, Grant will be here on this couch to educate you whenever you need.